Welcome to another episode of the Philosophy Podcast. I am your host, Controversy, and to my right, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host, none other than Mr.
Darren Love.
And together, we are the Philosophy Podcast. Thank you two guys for tuning in to a brand new episode. Thank you for tuning in once again this week, guys. And like we always say, what is on the agenda for this week, mate? What is today's
Hot topic?
That's it. What is it today, mate? What are we talking about today?
I thought we'd talk about progress.
Progress.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that.
What is progress?
Very good question. So what are your thoughts and your ideas and your opinions on progress, mate? What is your definition of progress?
I feel like I've made a lot of progress today.
Do you?
Yeah.
Good.
You know, I feel like I try to make progress every day, really.
So you feel like you've had a productive day?
Yeah. Just keep positive, really, I feel. You know, just
keep pushing.
I mean, it's no good crying all day long or being angry all day long, you know, because, you know, it's your memory, it's no progress, basically, you know. It's even being depressed for one day or 1 week. Yeah. You know, you're losing a lot of progress.
You're losing time.
Yeah, I think.
You've got to use that as a fuel to go even harder. Yeah. Anytime you're down and you're feeling really down, you've got to use that as a fuel to go even harder than you did before. Keep pushing even harder.
I think life is very difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally find life very difficult, right? But at the same time, you know, I think life is meant to be a bit difficult.
Well, how would I look at it?
It's not meant to be easy, is it?
No, but how would I look at it, right, mate? As we're talking about progress, right? In my opinion, right, anything that is not progressing or moving forward, right, is either stagnant, regressing, or dead.
That's right. Not moving.
Nothing. You get what I'm saying? So you're essentially either stagnant, where you're not going anywhere, not moving forward, just in the same place for the same year in, year out, no progress, just same, you know. And you got regressing, where you're going backwards, think shit's getting worse, if you see what I mean. You're not progressing in any way, shape or form. In all actuality, your life is getting worse, and your circumstances are getting worse, and your is getting worse. You know, or you're dead.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, progress is essential. You know, if you're not thinking about trying to evolve constantly as a human being in different areas and different aspects of your life, then what is the point of being alive? And that's just, I know that might sound a bit harsh, but that's just my personal opinion. It's like, if you're not doing anything, if you're not enjoying your life in any way and trying to do certain things and you know, something with your life, then, you know, what's the point? You know, you're just existing, you know. What's the point of just existing, you know? We only get one life. Well, I only believe you only get one life as you anyway. Even if you believe in reincarnation, you only get one life as you. So you might as well just enjoy your life, you know. You know.
See, my belief is like the universe is a very magical place. All the stars are magical. Yeah. The moon is magical. The sun is magical. That's what I see. This is how I feel. Everyone else is magical, you know, every living being basically, even an ant. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even a pigeon or whatever. Yeah. You know, I just think we're all magical. And I think if you don't believe in magic, really, you know, you're not going to ever find yourself. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to ever find happiness, I think, you know. And I think people have got to believe in their own magic. Yeah. Basically, if you sort of mean, you know. Yeah. You know. What is magic, really? Being happy, I think. You know, I mean, I feel more magical, the happier I am. Yeah. Let's put it that way. You know, I mean, my happiness level goes up and down.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
But I never let it go down too low. Yeah. You know, like depressing. You know, I mean, I have been, as I've said, I've been depressed, right? Because I lost my ex-wife, you know, a number of years back now. Yeah. And I go on about it a little bit, but only to talk about it, really. Yeah. I'm not worried about it anymore. It's past.
It doesn't affect you anymore.
But it's all a memory, you know, and I kind of like talk about it just as sort of like in conversation, basically, sort of like so we can learn from it. Yeah. Basically, you know. But yeah, you know, I lost my happiness, you know, for a number of years, you know, and it's come back to me.
Yeah.
You know, and when I used to live with my ex-wife, you know, I used to get angry sometimes, and you know, I felt like I was never happy.
Yeah.
You know, in a kind of way. I never met the perfect partner that I could get on with. You know, and I think that's partly my fault. You know, because I just wasn't so smart as I was today. Do you know what I mean? You know, I just didn't understand what I was doing in a kind of way, but I kind of do now. You know, when I look back.
Yeah.
But I think like happiness is magical, a very magical thing. And I think once you find happiness, because you're not going to find happiness if you're crying all day.
Yeah.
If you're angry all day, because you know you think about it. Like say a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old crying all day long, being angry all day long for 2 years. You know, and you know. He's never, you know, he's not going to have anything good to remember, is he? Do you know what I mean? That's it, really, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You're only going to remember those happy days, you know. So you really got to make an effort to smile, I think, and make the most of each day, basically. You know, because every day is, again, magical.
It's a gift.
Well, it's magical.
Life in itself is a gift. Being able to wake up every morning, you know, and you've got another 24 hours to live, you know, to have an experience, you know,
to breathe, you know, or to do what you want, or you know, if I wasn't born today, I wouldn't know a thing. I wouldn't even know a star existed. If you see me, I would never see a star. You know, it's only the fact that I'm born. I know so many things. You know, and I mean, what I think the purpose of life really is learning. You know, and the more you learn really about things. The happier you become, basically, you know. Yeah. And I find that, you know, I don't know everything in life. I don't. And there's still things I've got to learn in life, you know, in my future. Yeah. But I found that I feel like I've come to an understanding now, a better understanding than I ever have done before. Okay. Where when my wife divorced me, you know, I was a bit confused and lost for a number of years, and I had to sort myself and get myself back on my feet. Get yourself back together again. You know, so you can't really kind of rebuild your life a bit. You can't be a magical person when you've just lost your house. You know what I mean? It's impossible.
Well, I think it's more to it than that. It's when you lose everything you've invested, your time, energy, money, emotion, love. Exactly. Attention,
you know,
everything.
A lot of it 24 hours.
That's what I'm saying. Everything.
You
So
know,
when you lose that after 13 years, it's a significant blow, mate. It can be a significant blow for anyone.
It was. You know, and your children as well. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So it is. It tore me apart.
It can be devastating.
But what did I do? I made progress every day. Do you know what I mean? I didn't. I think the first year, you know, I was a bit devastated. Do you know what I mean? I could have done better. Do you know what I mean? And I sometimes sort of like didn't do nothing because I was so depressed. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of regret really those days. Yeah. That those magical days, there I was spending sort of like being ungrateful, basically. You know, and this is it. I think like being ungrateful, you're going to lose absolutely everything. So as soon as you're ungrateful, do you know what I mean? As soon as you're ungrateful with anything. Yeah. You know, if it's raining, say, you're ungrateful.
Well, it's one of those things. You take anything for granted long enough, you'll lose it. Yeah.
It's when you appreciate. You know, it's like someone giving you a gold coin, basically. You know, and I feel that I'm a person that appreciates every minute. Yeah. You know, not every minute because sometimes I'm asleep. Yeah. Or sometimes I've got to focus on other things, but I try to appreciate every second I got.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm exactly the same, mate.
Every second.
No matter what I'm doing.
I try to do as much as I can every day. I try to learn as much as I can every day. You know, because yesterday I might have done an hour of studying, say something. You know, I might have learned something. You know, whatever. Yeah. To put in my pocket, and then today I kind of like sat down and tried to do a bit more learning. You know. Yeah. And that's what I'm like. Do you know what I mean? I like working on what I've already got. Yeah. And I wish I studied a long time ago, you know. To be honest, I wish I had the internet a long time ago, you know, because I felt like since I've had the internet, it's given me a tool in my own home, a library in my own home, better than a library actually, you know, because it's not like walking 5 miles down to the library and then you go around there and search for the thing you want. You're there for an hour.
Yeah, I get you.
You know, when you come home and you need a sandwich, you know, this is sort of on the button, you know, the internet, and you can learn things at light speed in a funny way.
Yeah.
And then you can have a cup of tea, and you can say, oh, how do I make a pancake? And then you can Google, you know, do you know what I mean? It's amazing, you know, and it's magical, really, I think, you know, because the internet, I think, like, it's everyone's brains together in a funny way, you know, and it's like one big brain to me, you know. And I look at, like, Google really is like, my God, like, ask them the question, just Google it, you know, if you see what I mean. But, you know, I've made a lot of progress. I mean, I've lost a couple of girlfriends, as I've said previously, and the first girlfriend I had before I got married, she met somebody else. We had a child together, do you know what I mean? And we lost absolutely everything again, you know. But what did I do? I didn't go drinking like some people do, you know, and think, you know. I started going weight training, progress. You know, I mean, one of the, you know, I've said it before, but the most important thing in life is really keeping your body strong.
Yeah.
And healthy.
Yeah.
It's your palace.
But it also benefits your mental health too. And that's a proven fact.
Of course it does.
And more and more people are understanding this today, if you see what I mean. The correlation between having, you know, looking after yourself physically, your physical health, you know, getting enough exercise and enough, you know, eating the right foods and making sure you're hydrated and getting enough sunlight and all these things. People are understanding today that there's a direct correlation between that and your mental health too as well. You know?
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, I think when you're rebuilding yourself, when you're going through an experience like that where you've kind of feel like you lost everything and you're having to kind of rebuild from scratch, you know, if you're, you know, incorporating exercise into your daily life and your routine can really help a lot of people, you know. So,
I mean, it's like when you're angry as well, you lose everything.
Yeah.
You got to remember that, you know, it's anger, especially when you lose your temper.
Yeah.
You know, I can remember losing my temper, you know. Like, you know, it's kind of like you're not in control of yourself all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I mean? You know, you're not. You're being
impulsive.
Yeah, you know, and sometimes I lost my temper and did something really bad. Do you know what I mean? You know, this is what I'm talking about when I was younger. Things that I might regret. You know, like hit someone or someone in the mouth. Do you know what I mean? And they're bleeding like this, and I kind of think, oh my God, what did I just do? You know, do you know what I mean? Yeah. You know. Yeah, I think we've all got a temper on us, you know, and I think that's something we've all got to learn to control.
Correct.
You know, and
mastering thyself is one of the biggest things in life in which everyone has to do. And part of that is, you know, like you just said, self-control, discipline, learning how to control yourself and control your tongue and control your behaviour is a big part of, you know, getting older and becoming mature, you know. If you're not able to control yourself as a human being, how I look at it, right? If someone else is able to make you angry and upset you, they're able to control you. If you see what I mean. And if someone is able to control you, then they can manipulate you. Do you get what I'm saying? You're more easy to manipulate, because if they're able to make you angry to the point that you lose your control, then they are essentially in control. If you get what I'm saying.
Well, the truth is, some people get more upset than others, don't they?
True. Well, even if you're the type of person that you know that you're fiery, that when you get upset you're quite fiery, and you've got to work even harder on your self-control and your issues like that. There's a lot of people who are naturally, like kind of like me and you, very peaceful, relaxed, calm people. It takes a lot to get us angry. If you see what I mean, it takes us a lot to get that point where you're just going to snap, and you know, our breaking point is quite high. If you see what I mean. But for other people, their threshold.
I'm more likely to get very angry for the right reasons.
Yeah, you know, but for a lot of people, their threshold, if you see what I mean, is a lot lower. So little things might upset them, if you see what I mean, and they'll lose their cool, lose their temper very, very quickly, if you see what I mean. The slightest thing can happen and they'll blow up, if you see what I mean. Start swearing, start being angry, start, you know, acting erratically, and you know.
I think it's because they feel not loved. Maybe. You know,
maybe that's part of it. Yeah. But self-control is very, 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 very important, especially as you become a mature adult. If you see what I mean, you've got to learn how to conduct yourself in this world as a human being, how to treat people with respect and be and you know, the same way that you want to be respected and you want to be loved and you want to be admired and etc. You've got to do the same for other people. It's got to be a mutual. If you see what I mean, it's a two-way street, as they say. It's got to be mutual.
I think you got to, be happy as well, though. Like tomorrow, I know that I just want to be happy tomorrow, no matter what. If I come over sick, that's going to make things slightly change my plans.
Slightly different. Yeah.
But I still appreciate being alive.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think that's number one is just appreciate being alive and try to make progress on your own life.
Yeah.
It's your own life. Because this is your your day, your universe. It's like this universe belongs to me in a way. But I've got to follow the rules. The government rules. But I'm free to. I feel like I'm quite free in life. I feel like I'm more free than most people. Let's put it that way. I'm very lucky. I have worked.
Yeah.
But the last 7 years, I've just been sort of like free of work.
Free as a bird, as they say.
Yeah, free as a bird. Almost anyway. I'm not completely free. Because I still live in the matrix. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I still feel blessed in a kind of way in life. Because I feel like I've just I've made progress. Because like spending 13 years with one woman, and having 2 children with her, and like you say, I work 24 hours, I love her a bit, 24 hours, 7 days a week, and then I sort of suddenly lost it all. But at the end of the day, did I make any progress?
Yeah.
Yes, I did, I suppose, because
I've
got 2 children here.
Well, if you reflect, how long have you been here in New Milton now? How long have you been here?
26 years, maybe a bit more.
No, I mean in where you live now.
Here,
your current address, 15 years.
Yeah.
So in the course of 15 years, I think you have progressed, mate, haven't you?
Of course, well,
you've overcome.
Well, I've got myself back on my feet.
You overcame everything and kept going, and now you've been in the same place for 15 years, and you've been happy, and you've been
Well, 15 years ago when I first moved here, I needed lots of things, like a bed, you know what I mean? So it was a bit of a nightmare, then I had my children as well, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had to cook them dinners and things and so on, so it was a bit of a nightmare, but now today is a different story. I can relax and it's all over, and it's kind of like, it's kind of, my life's turned into more of a dream now, a different dream.
Yeah.
If my wife didn't divorce me, I would have been with her today, do you know what I mean? And if things didn't go wrong, like they do, if I said the right words and said, or done the right things at the time, or because I feel like when she told me she didn't love me anymore, I probably reacted wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think like if she told me now, I wouldn't have reacted the way I did. You see what I mean? So it's all to do with what you say sometimes to save things.
Yeah. How you react to the situation.
Yeah, I'd say like 15 years ago, I don't think I was, I was smart, do you know what I mean? Or intelligent in many ways, I was good at art at that time. And I knew about electronics and things because I studied it and all that. So I was quite smart in my own way, but I didn't really know much about women. I didn't really know much about philosophy so much or anything like that. And it's only the last 15 years since my wife divorced me, I've actually had time to study and had time to think a bit more, and I've become a bit of a heavier thinker, I think, because she divorced me and I couldn't work it out, and it puzzled me when we had such a beautiful family together, But it is what it is, and you learn from it, don't you? And I kind of like look back now and I'm really pleased it all happened, because I wouldn't be doing a show with you right now.
Yeah.
And even this show we're kind of doing each week, and we're making progress. Because we're kind of like each week slowly getting a bit better without us even realising a bit as philosophers, And we're kind of like making progress, I think, and we're both people with the same energy, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we just like making progress every day that goes by, don't we? In our own little way.
Of course, yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's the name of the game, isn't it, really, mate? name of the game is progress.
Yeah, and I think like if you give up, that's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, and you can't fail until you quit, as they say. You know.
But it's not just the worst thing you can do for yourself. It's the worst thing you can do for everyone else. Because everyone else has got to try to. Because you know your mum cares for you, and you know certain people that care for you.
Of course. Yeah.
If you give up, well, how can they help?
Yeah.
You know, do you know what I mean? You know, they kind of like you know in this life you've got to be strong for yourself.
Exactly. It's up to you essentially.
You've got to stand up.
Yeah.
And you know, show everyone what you can do in life, basically.
Yeah.
You know, be strong, not weak. Cause, you know.
Yeah, survival of the fittest, essentially. You know, you can't afford to show, especially as you're as a grown person, right? You can't really be like really showing weakness in today's world. Like, you know, no one cares, and that's the reality. And it might sound harsh, right? And it might, you know, a lot of people, you know, there's some people that care, but the large majority of people don't care. So there's no point telling people what you're going through, or what you're experiencing, or what, you know, do you get what I mean? Because there's only few and far in between people that will actually be able to, you know, take on board what you're saying and have empathy.
People got their own problems.
That's what I'm saying. Have empathy for you, like your close friends and your family, whatever. But outside of that, outside of your immediate circle, anyone else doesn't care about your problems or what you've got going on. Like you said, people have got enough of their own shit going on to be even worried about you. And that might sound harsh, but I think the sooner that a lot of people understand that, the better, if you see what I mean. You know, you've got to be strong in this world, like you were saying. You know, if you're the type of person that's gonna, you know, give up easily and you know, and just run into a corner and hide and not want to face your problems and run away from the world and, you know, all these type of things, then you're not gonna get very far. You're not gonna make much progress. You know, I think personally, the most successful people in life are the ones that are the most resilient, if you see what I mean. You know, the most resilient people, the ones that are the ones that what's the right way to word it, like the ones that stay the path, essentially, if you see what I mean. That they have a goal and they're focused on it and they do not deviate from that, if you see what I mean. They're kind of got tunnel vision, essentially. And you have to have that in this world, you know. You have to, otherwise you'll crumble.
You've got to have your own dreams, haven't you?
Yeah. You're not going to get very far if you don't have any self-belief and self-confidence and you know, just drive within yourself, like self-motivation, self-inspiration, then you're not going to get very far in life, you know. These things are like essential components, you know, towards, you know, having success in life in different areas of life. You know, you have to.
I mean, we did a show on success before in episode, didn't we?
Yeah.
You know, what is success after all? Do you know what I mean? I feel like, you know, it's not really necessarily having a big house, is it? Do you know what I mean? Or a fancy car or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's success really is within yourself, I think.
Yeah.
You know? It's knowing where you're going.
Yeah.
In a kind of way. I mean, yeah. I think it's just. I mean, I've had a number of disasters in my life. Do you know what I mean? And it's sort of like sometimes I felt like giving up, and it is the worst thing you can do for yourself. You know.
Yeah.
You know, the day, like I said, is a gift.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah.
You know, the day is magical if you're happy.
Yeah.
There's
no point burying your head.
You can imagine, right? If you're sad,
yeah.
It's a different world, right? You will hate life. You know, I mean, I must admit, I hated life, right, in a kind of way when my wife divorced me. But then, luckily, you know, I think it's all to do with my attitude sometimes, you know, because I've always been a quite positive person, you know, and I try my best. I've always tried my best, you know, and when I did a removal, this guy, which I was talking to, and told him my story about my ex-wife, and just kicking me out of my house, he gave me his boat, you know, And I just feel like you do meet people on your path as long as you've got a good positive attitude, you know what I mean?
Great. Yeah. Alright, my frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I just wish more people were magical out here. Than, you know, I just wish more people appreciated what they got.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you're alive,
It's
you're
true.
born, do you know what I mean? You know, I mean, a day is like being born every day to me.
Yeah.
But better. You know, each day gets better. I can't explain it because your memory's growing. You know, you might be getting older, but your memory's growing. You know, you've got more days to remember, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Don't you get it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, more experience.
You know, and as long as you're happy the previous days, your life will start getting magical. You know, and it get more magical as long as you don't sit down. If you see what I mean, you know, give up. I mean, if I laid down in a bed for a whole week, which I could do, it's not giving up. As long as I'm happy, you know, I could let my house go where I go. You know, and you could be happy in bed, you know, staying in bed for a whole week, as long as you're happy.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with what you're doing in life, as long as you're happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you see what I mean. You know, and as long as you're not creating problems to